Hi, and welcome to a very special Coworking, a podcast about what makes Coworking special. And this month, we're welcoming Andraž Šiler from Coworking in Kranj, which has been there for more than 10 years. As I was saying, we'll get into the crunchy details later. But first of all, Andraz, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me on our co-working place on this nice podcast.
Thank you so much. And thank you for, you don't know this, but I've been struggling with Wi-Fi connection for like this past hour. And so I was in the middle of all this and thinking, oh my God, I have a recording. And finally, I found a place where I think my internet connection is good. So thank you so much for Andras, for your understanding. And remote work is like that sometimes. Life happens and you have to make do with it. So I think that's a great show, resilience from us.
And that's why you need to come for a co-working to have better Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's a pro of the co-working. They take care of those kind of issues. You don't have to deal with it. But first of all, Andraz, you were saying that your space has been there for more than 10 years, right?
Yeah, our space is actually here for a couple of more months than 10 years. Actually, in 2015, there was idea in the city of Kranj, because we are like small city from Slovenia. So Slovenia is a small country. So actually everything is quite small in Slovenia. And in that time, 2015, co-working already existed in Ljubljana, in our capital, but not in many other places. So there was a group of young people here from the city of Kranj who had this idea. Let's try to establish this in Kranj as well. Why would we have this just in our capital, as we can have it also in our local city? And yeah, that was just idea, and they approached with this idea to the municipality of Kranj, and they said, yeah, okay, it sounds interesting, sounds modern, and so on. And also some other older, wiser people in the municipality said, let's give a try. So the initial story was that there was abandoned school building, old school building, a bit outskirts of the city center. And this was really old socialistic building, not really well maintained, but it was empty. So they said, okay, we can give you one classroom in this building, and you can try there. So yeah, initial start was really not really poshy one, but yeah, there was from the day one, there was also my colleague Nives, and she was really passionate about that. So she really struggled with the place, because as I said, the first was really low budget, just one classroom. There was a lot of furniture from IKEA, also some homemade stuff. And yeah, and the beginning was not after the grand opening, the place were nearly empty for 2 or 3 months, I think. Nobody appeared, because nobody actually knew what is co-working, what is remote work. This was really a distant topic, especially in Slovenia back then. But what really helps at the beginning was events, actually, because we started every week, every Tuesday, there was one event in this place. It was entrepreneurial event, free of charge, marketing, social media, finances, interesting topics, and with interesting lectures. And then people started to come for the events, and they were also asking, yeah, what are you offering here? Table, okay, it's a really nice price for the table. And so after a couple of months, I think after 4 or 5 months, actually the first co-worker came, and from this then Kovačnica grew, but really steadily. We started in one classroom in this old building, then they gave us a second classroom, then the third classroom. After a couple of years, they gave us the whole first floor. And so it was slow start, and also slow but steady growth, so to say.
Yes.
And it is actually, from the beginning, from the day one, it's actually supported both by the municipality of Kranj and also by the regional development agency for Gorenjska region. So actually, how are we doing the stuff here is actually that we are trying to apply for as many European funds as possible, national one, international one, in order to cover our expenses, so to say. So we are not really for profit motivated. We are more to give something to the entrepreneurial community in our region. And now, after 10 years, I think we really, if you look back in 2015, when we started in this small socialistic building with really old furniture and everything, and you look, I think nobody actually expected in what will happen in next 10 years. So because we were also just in a couple of months ago, we were filming one movie about our 10th anniversary, so to say. And you are asking a lot of people who were there at the beginning, and nobody said, wow, it's really interesting how this thing developed. But yeah, without, I think, dedicated team, without Nives, which was the first team member here, I don't think such a development would be possible. Really, this is the most important thing, coworking, because I remember a lot of people came in this old building there, and it was really like a shitty place. But they said, no, I can feel the vibe. The vibe here is great. I could have better offices, more better equipped offices, but I like the vibe here. I like the people here. That's why I want to have my table here. So this is, I think, the heart of the coworking, actually. The people, the community, not the fancy buildings and
infrastructure.
Yes.
Yeah, there are two important things in your story, at least at the beginning, is the partnership with the local government, because it's them that give you a chance, even if it's not the best building in town, it was something. And second, as you were saying, it's the vibe, it's the thing that you do more than just the four walls, than just the buildings, and just the infrastructure, the desk, the chair, is something else you're offering your community.
Yeah, because I also remember, because after 2 years also I came to the team like for the full time, because in the beginning I was just helping like part-time. And I remember when you were inviting some prominent Slovenian businessmen, startup people, then maybe at the beginning a bit ashamed, okay, we are inviting them in this old building, they are having lectures in Ljubljana in these fancy conference rooms. But a lot of people after the meeting said, after the lecture, they said, wow, I can feel the great vibe here. I would like to come back again. So this was really also for us that apparently we are doing something right.
You have to start somewhere. At some point, you don't have the budget, you do what you can with what you have.
Yeah, I think this is important that you start like with the community, with what you have, because I also saw some cases in Slovenia and around, and they open like a brand new fancy building and everything, and then nothing happened. And they are like, what we're doing wrong? Yeah, you started at the wrong point.
Yeah, that's so interesting. That's the story, the origin story of your space. What about you? What made you want to start a coworking, your own coworking, and why in Kranj and not, like you were saying, in a bigger city?
I don't know, I'm local here from Kranj, and I was also more like local patriot, because with Kranj and Ljubljana, we are quite close. It's actually 30 kilometers, it's 30 minutes of driving. So a lot of people, but a lot of people from Kranj is working in Ljubljana. They are commuting there on a daily basis. And also I was studying in Ljubljana back then. But I was also like, why should I drive to Ljubljana to have proper offices? Why should I drive to Ljubljana to have proper entrepreneurial support when we can establish this in our local community? So this was like the incentive in the beginning. Why should young people from our city, from our region, drive couple of minutes, half an hour, 1 hour? It's also not really sustainable. You need to have a parking place there. Your time goes. If let's try to offer them this kind of activities, this kind of services also in our local time, also in our local town. And this is what our local government, regional government understood this somehow. They also said, yeah, because they are also interested into to retain young talents, young businesses in our region. Because we have quite a big problem still today that a lot of startups who maybe start here in our coworking, in our incubator, then when they start to grow bigger, they are moving their offices to Ljubljana because it's capital, more opportunities there, more talents, more people, more everything. Okay, this can be the case, but at least you can offer them the initial infrastructure here in our local town. This was like the idea from the beginning, and this is because our idea from the beginning is that we want to create like a cool place where cool people do cool things. This was initial idea. Okay, the building is bad, but we are cool people here, we are doing cool things, and this is a cool place. And now what we want to build now, what we are building now, is like one-stop shop for our region. So if you are interested in entrepreneurship, you will find in our place, you will find something for yourself for sure. Either is event, either is mentor, either is office, either is co-working table, Either it's maybe just a meeting room. You also have, maybe you can just come to use the 3D printers. Maybe your kid is interested in entrepreneurship, so you can send him, because we also offer a lot of programs for kids. So the idea of this building now is, if you're interested in business, entrepreneurship, we have something for you, for sure.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. I'm thinking back at your story. You were saying you started in an old Soviet school, 1 class, 2 classrooms, 3 classrooms. I understand you were a team from the beginning as well. So you were several
No,
people working on this? Or
no,
not
from the
necessarily?
beginning, there was just, I already mentioned my colleague Nives. She was
Yes.
doing this full time for the first 2 years, I think. And then
Mhm.
after 2 years, then the team is starting to appear somehow, because
Yes.
also there was like more finances available, also
Yes.
more programs. So she was able to put the team together. But for the first year and a half, 2 years, she was mainly alone there for everything. Also like from cleaning, for putting things together, for
Yeah.
repairing chairs from time to time. So it's really not a job for everybody, so to say. You need to
Yes.
really be passionate about this. And a lot of events are in the afternoon, so you need to stay there in the afternoon as well. So after
Yes.
event, you maybe drink a beer with the people there, and it's already 10 o'clock in the evening. So
Yes.
it's hard job actually, because a lot of people
Mhm.
now are maybe thinking about, because co-working, remote work, this is a kind of trend also in Slovenia, digital
Mhm.
nomads as well. So a lot of people are thinking, yeah, I will open my own co-working, but then we talk with them, it's not, you will not become a millionaire, and it's not the easy business. So think twice maybe before doing it.
Yes. Yes. So she was on. And then you were talking about also you were working part-time hours and full-time.
Yeah, I
Then you put
was,
a team.
yes, because I was also in this initial group of young people, but I was still back then at the beginning, I had a job in Ljubljana.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just helping like from time to time in my free time, so to say.
Yes.
So yeah, so after a couple of years, there were opportunity to move here full time, and I said yes. So of course, I always wanted to have a job in my region, and also to help my region to develop even more. Ljubljana is well developed. We need to develop other places in Slovenia as well.
Sure. And then I guess at some point you move out of the school because I see the background behind
Yeah.
you. It doesn't look like a Soviet school. So maybe
Yeah,
you
yeah.
renovated. I don't know. But I guess you moved out of there.
Yes, you have the right predictions. Yeah,
Mm.
and again, as I mentioned already earlier, we are doing really a lot with these European funds. We are trying to
Mm-hmm.
get the maximum out of it.
Yes.
So then in 2021 and 2022, there was one open call for like business infrastructure in Slovenia, to develop business infrastructure in Slovenia. So together with municipality of Kranj, we applied for this grant. We were successful. So we were able with this grant to buy a former post office. So apparently we were going
From school to post
to
office. Yes.
yeah. So it was a former headquarters of Post for our region, but
Mm-hmm.
they don't have regional headquarters anymore, because people are not using the post service that often anymore.
Time changes.
So this build, yes, that's also how time changes. So yeah, this building was like empty for a couple of years in the city center. So yeah, together with the municipality, we were able to bought the building. It's really historic building in the city center, because before we were bit outskirts, some were forgotten. So now we are in the city center, and yeah, we were able to renovate the building. And also now here we are really offering like a very good infrastructure. So
Yes.
basically you have everything what you need for the successful start of the business, or if you need just a co-working table, we have everything here now. So yeah, for the past 3 years, we are developing our new story here, and yeah, we can also see the differences. But we
Yes.
said, okay, we need to have this, we need to maintain this vibe even more. And it's
Mhm.
also a bit different. It was also a bit issue in the beginning,
Yeah.
because this place here is 3 times, even 4 times bigger than the place before. So in the place before, we were all like management, the co-workers, everybody were sticking together in 2 or 3 rooms.
Mhm.
Now we are like 2, 3 stories. So we need to invest like more time in this, also community building, also
Yes.
in drinking coffee with the people to talk about their issues and everything. So it was the case, especially in the beginning, but now after 3 years, I think we somehow managed to do it. And yeah, we are really covering now, because we started 10 years ago. We started just as a co-working center, and because there were no people in the beginning, we said, okay, let's try to do it events.
Yes.
Probably people will come to events.
Mhm.
And now after 10 years, we are really covering like the whole vertical. So we are having a lot of programs also for school kids. and then
Okay.
all up to startups. For the past 2 years, we are also developing this startup segment because we also don't want, as I said, we don't want for these ambitious, motivated young people to go to Ljubljana immediately. So we have one person dedicated in our team who is dealing just with startups. So what I'm trying to say that we have like really brought various programs from school kids to startups. So to say in everything in between. So we also have some programs for freelancers. We are offering some programs for young entrepreneurs. We are offering just co-working tables. We are offering private offices. We are offering meeting rooms, like a big lecture room for events, and also in the basement, because you can imagine the post office had a huge basement to store all the parcels and everything. So we are having there a small lab to also to do some prototypes inside the house. So with the 3D printers, VR goggles, laser cutter, and so on. As I said, if you need to do anything, you can do it in our house. And we are also we are also quite proud of this, that we also have this, we are official register point to open the business. So we have this public license, so to say, so you can come in our office and you can register the business here. So this is also good. A lot of businesses, a lot of people are coming here to register business, and they are, how you're offering tables as well. Yeah, okay, maybe my daughter will be interested. She's a freelancer. She's working from home. I will give a contact to her. But now, luckily, in these 10 years, Kranj, as I said, is quite small city, like 50,000 inhabitants. So with the word of mouth and everything, people are quite aware of our presence already. But still happens from time to time that people still don't know what the co-working is, what we are offering. So we are also trying to inform people, so to say, about, because for us it's like logical. Okay, this is the concept here already 10 years, but yeah, if you are not from this sector, then maybe you cannot really understand what's going on here.
Yeah. Now you need to give a glimpse of the vibe and of everything that's happening there, so that they come to understand that. That makes me remember someone saying, with WeWork, the view of coworking changed. Before, people were like, oh, coworking, what is it? It's the first time I hear about it. I have no idea what is it. No, people hear coworking, they're like, oh, it's like WeWork. Yes, but no, it can be different. And it comes back to what you were saying, the vibe you had, even so you had bad infrastructure, the same vibe you wanted to keep as you grew in a bigger, much bigger building, and something else you want to offer. Because as I understand, your main business now might not be the desk, selling desk, but it might be all the programs you're doing and all the services you're offering your members. May they have a desk or not?
So that's true, because when we were trying to develop our, so to say, business model further on, we saw that just with selling tables, just with selling offices, we cannot be profitable, so to say, because it's small city. In a small city, you are offering like 45 co-working places and like 14 private offices. So just with this amount of tables and offices, it's hard to cover anything. But yeah, as I said, we are quite successful in applying for different European grants. So our main selling points, so to say, are really different programs. I think we are offering programs. One programs are like for school kids. Then we are having another programs for like young entrepreneurs. They don't have business yet, but they are here with us for 4 months and then open the business after it. And we are also offering a special program for like ambitious startups who wanted to grow. And we still have, this is for the past 10 years, that every Tuesday, this is from the beginning on, every Tuesday at 5 o'clock, there is like a free entrepreneurial lecture in our premises, open for public, open for everybody. So yesterday, and Tuesday, 2 days ago already, we had a workshop on LinkedIn. So this is also like people are coming just to workshop, for example. So and we are doing a lot of events also with other public services, so to say, a bit. For example, municipalities organizing a lot of events in our premises, in our lecture room. Today at 6 o'clock in the evening, they have one meeting with the local community about how to rebuild the new marketplace here. So that's in this regard, we are also having different target groups are coming to our place, and they maybe older people, they maybe don't know what they are doing, but they are saying, okay, I can see I can come here for event. They have this sense why we are here.
Yeah.
So we are offering also, as I said, our permits, especially the lecture room, also to other, not specifically just to entrepreneurs and startups, but also for a broader local community. And this, I think, really helps us a lot, because the people, we don't have nearly any negative feedback. On the beginning, we had, because especially the older people in the city center, they wanted to have post office still here because they are going to post, and now you are kicking post out or bringing some new stuff here. But also this was then our issue. Okay, you need to inform these people what are we doing here, so we then invite them for event together with municipalities. So now nearly, of course, from time to time there is still somebody, they are not doing anything, they are just on their computers all the time. But I think we really have a really positive perspective of what we are doing here, although still some maybe older people don't know what we are doing here, but they said probably something good.
Okay. Yeah, so you have a good first impression with all the different things you're doing, and it's great to hear that you're keeping the Tuesdays event from the very beginning. It's like your brand, the service. Every Tuesday you come here.
Yeah, we are trying to do this. Yeah, Tuesday events, and Wednesday we are also sending out the newsletter. So this is also from the beginning, because in the beginning there was no really big marketing budget. There was no marketing budget at all. And then I said, okay, let's do like a newsletter. But newsletters can be boring. People don't like newsletters. So we are really trying to have really fun newsletter, fun and informative. And our girls who are doing the newsletter, they are really amazing. And we get a lot of feedback. Wow, actually, great newsletter. I can't wait to read this new newsletter because it's fun, it's informative and everything. So this is also one of our, so to say, trademarks, like that every Wednesday you will get, no matter what happened, you will have one interesting newsletter in your mailbox. And the people are quite also that we have this summer break. So for example, in July and August, of course, our place is open. You can have tables here, you can have offices here, but we don't organize events because it's in summertime. You also need to relax. You need to go on the vacation. We also don't do newsletters in summer, and then from September on,
you start again.
Back on track again. We are trying with this for nearly 10 years, because if people are used to something, it's nice to have. If you want to change from Tuesday to Thursday, we tried this couple of times, but there is a mess. So we actually also add some other events, but they are not that. They're more sporadically. From time to time, we also have some morning events. From time to time, we have some night events, maybe just for startups. But these Tuesday events, they are there for everybody who wants to join us.
That's great. And it's great to see how you've evolved and how you've kept the same intention, the same passion from the beginning, even after getting bigger and bigger. And that's how it is today. What's next? Do you have something you're planning, something more services, more spaces, or maybe you want to really double down on that community and pay extra attention and maybe a bit of everything?
Yeah, we have, and every time we have plans for the future. Yeah, our main plan that we are developing now is especially we want to be more active in the startup segment, because this is really a new thing for us. We are more like researching the target group for the past 2 years. I think now we are quite aware what they need, what can we offer, where are we good at, and we also became a part of a national consortium for startups. So this will be our, I think, next more serious step, like towards more serious businesses, more globally oriented startups from our region, to offer them support and also to connect them with the bigger businesses here in our region, especially in terms of innovation, mutual collaboration. Because before we didn't do much with the big companies. We said we are here more like for like young entrepreneurs, freelancers, startups at the beginning. Now we also organize, like in autumn, we organized the first event for big companies of our region. The turnout was like quite nice. In March, we are organizing another one. So we also try to step a bit in this segment so that they will know that we are here, what can we offer to them, where can we help them. So we still don't know how this will develop, but this is one idea. And what we also try to develop even more programs for school kids.
Yes.
Because when we see that this is really important, especially in former socialistic countries, as Slovenia is, the entrepreneurship, especially in formal education, is still maybe seen as a bit of bad thing, like you will not teach business in school. Things are improving now, especially also with our work in the past 6 years. But the problem here is that we are situated in Kranj. So schools from Kranj can come to our events quite easily. But we want to target also more rural schools, because more rural schools in our region is smaller, in smaller municipalities who are a bit distant from Kranj. And in these municipalities, kids don't have, Kranj is like third or fourth biggest city in Slovenia. So young kids can have a lot of these afternoon activities. But in smaller cities, they really don't have. So we want to come also to the smaller cities and also to develop educational programs there. And what we are really happy about it, this is also, I think, will be a plan for the future. In past 2 or 3 years, a lot of also smaller co-working places in our region emerged. So that is, I think, also our role, because we are here for the 10 years already. We have quite some know-how on this field. So we want to help them also to grow and to prosper. Just yesterday, I was on one meeting in one really small village of Kovačnica, and I saw quite similarity with us 10 years ago. There were a group of young people in one old school, an old community building, which was used to be just part of some sport infrastructure. They try to develop now some sort of a co-working, and we really want to help this kind of individuals, this kind of group to succeed on this journey.
Yeah, and with the experience you started there too with humble beginnings, and that's how most people start. So you can really say, hey, this is what happened, and guide them and share your experience and support each other.
Yeah, that's the most important thing, to support each other. And because, in my opinion, for example, if they will open a co-working space in Žirovnica, it is 20 kilometers away from here, it's better for the local people from Žirovnica to work there than to go to our co-working space in Kranj. So it's actually also better for our region. So we will try to do our best.
No, it's great. I love talking about rural co-working, because that's where you open the one space. Usually it's one space that does all kind of things for the local communities. And you could have, I remember that space that was a library versus a farmer market, all kind of different things, not just the co-working, not just a place for startups. Even those are amazing, but it's great to have such diversity in services and in the type of people you can help, you can support.
Yeah, because it's quite easy. No, it's not easy, but it's easier to have a co-working space in like big, like in a city with a couple of million of inhabitants. But it's a different thing when you try to do it in a smaller city, and it's also much know-how.
Yeah, and usually people don't know about co-working, and you don't have a base there. It's brand new, and people are like, what is this? I don't like it. It's changed. So at first you're meeting resistance. So it's complicated, but it's also very empowering. And bit by bit, we're coming towards the end. But before that, I wanted to ask if there's anything else you wanted to talk about we haven't tackled yet.
Yeah, maybe just what comes to my mind. If some people are listening who are wondering, let's, if this is for me, if not, of course, let's give a try. And when I'm talking to people who are starting this, don't really, this is like work on long term, so to say. So don't give up at the beginning, because I don't know any example that, co-working was full of people the second day when the place opened, and the people are there, oh my God, nobody will come there. But eventually, if you do the right thing, I think people are maybe afraid of the beginning, but then they slowly start to appear, and then when the community is there, everything is much easier. But this is not like a type of business that you will open it and it will be full immediately. So don't give up at the beginning, and if you have the right people, it's not about the infrastructure, not about the location. It's really, the people are the most important on the beginning, and then all other will add up on this.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much. And if people want to know more about your space and about you, about your journey, where can they contact you?
Yeah, we are quite active, of course, on all different social platforms. Especially, we are still quite proud of our webpage because we still say that the webpage is the most important thing, should be the most important thing. So it's actually Kovačnica.si because we are from Slovenia. But if you type Kovačnica also on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, we are everywhere. We are now considering maybe to start also with the TikTok, but we are not quite sure about it yet. So our webpage, Kovačnica.si, and also social media, we are quite responsive there.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for sharing your journey, your passion that stays from day one until today. And I'll be looking forward to seeing all the different things you will develop along the way. Thank you.
Thank you. And if you will be in Slovenia or in Kranj, just came by.
I want to see, and you know what? I want to see that old school too, to see where you've been when you've been starting. It would be super amazing to compare the both of them.
We can take you there. What's interesting, they rebuild this in the school again. So there is a primary school again.
That's how it is. Thank you so much, and let's catch up again on LinkedIn and other platform where you're so super active. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.